last time I talked a little bit about getting out of my own way to keep me from where I'm going. And, I've shared the tricks that I've learned. I shouldn't say tricks, but techniques that I've learned, through meditation and allowing certain thoughts into your head and not allowing other thoughts into your head. But one of the things that I think is one of the most important, I know it has been for me, is being able to take that long look into the mirror. That look into the mirror and being objective about myself. Okay? When you take a look in that mirror, it's going to show you things that you might not necessarily like. Those are the things that are holding you back from getting to where I want to be, where you want to be, right? Because I talked about my attachments. My attachments is what is keeping me from my happiness. My attachments to the person I used to be mentally, physically, and spiritually, that person I was before my injury. And I've been stuck. I've been slowly crawling out of that, but I've been stuck. But it's through the being objective with yourself and looking at yourself in the mirror and telling yourself you need to let go of that stuff and what is mentally keeping you attaching to that stuff. Okay? But you have to decide to take that look, and you have to be honest with yourself. And that's one of the things that I struggled with in the past, that, I can't be wrong, right? The things I do aren't what's holding me back. It's society, or it's this thing or that person that's keeping me from doing. But once I realized that it wasn't that, it was me, then life started to become a whole lot better, because in turn I was getting out of my way. But let's talk about a little bit real quickly why people decide to change the way they think. Or even, I used to talk about a lot of this in the realm of fitness. Why do people want to change? Why do people start going to the gym? And it comes down to me, really 3 reasons. And when I say go to the gym, I don't mean go to the gym for 2 months and then quit. I mean the people that stick with it throughout their life. Because I've been doing in the fitness industry for 22 years now. Okay? So what are the reasons why people start working out? First reason, it's less likely, but it does happen. Well, my friend Billy is joining a gym. He asked me to join with him. And so, you know what, I'm going to start working out. I'm just going to do it. Let's give it a try. Yeah, does that happen? Now, do those people tend to stay the course throughout their whole life? Not typically. Then that brings me to the second reason. The second reason is a life-altering health event. And it scares them. It's scary. The doctor tells you, hey, you need to change this shit, because if you don't, you're going to die, or something bad is going to happen, or something worse is going to happen. My wife and I experienced that a little bit, or I should say quite a bit, about 3.5, 4 years ago, when she was diagnosed with cancer and, my first hip surgery. But that really taught us a lot in regards to how we wanted to move forward with what we put in our body and what we put in our mind. It transformed our lives, right? But now, through this storm here, this again is a life-altering event through my injury. The third one is you finally have enough. You finally have that mental breakdown. You have a mental breakdown and you're thinking, fuck this, I've had enough. I had that when I was about 20 years old. I was that fat kid in high school, never had a date, all that, a lot of psychological baggage there. I was a very introverted person, but, through physical fitness, I developed into something else. But I had that mental break where I've had fucking enough. I looked in the mirror and I did not like what I saw. So I decided to change. So that's the third reason, having that mental break to where you find enough is enough and this is what it is. And that's a little bit what I'm going through now. So it's kind of a combination with this mindset shift. It's the same thing. Back then, you know, other people use these three things as physical fitness, but the same thing goes for the mindset. So I had two of those. I had that life-altering injury that forced me to change, and I've had that mental break to where enough is enough. I need to get back to what I used to do. So I took that long objective look into the mirror and decided that this is a fucking enough. This is enough. And I made the changes that I needed to do. So the combination of that meditation, allowing negative things in my head, and taking that daily objective look in the mirror to see what I need to change has launched my attitude in a completely opposite direction. It basically did a 180 flip. So within the last week, I've been happier than I've ever been in a long, long time. But check this out. The beautiful thing is nothing's changed in my life. Nothing. I still have my injury. I'm still in pain every day. But I changed my perspective. And once you change your perspective, then life becomes a lot easier to contend with. Because you're not dealing with all the mental baggage, all those mental scars that we have. You know, because through our stories, we develop scars, right? Whatever our bad story is. My story is obviously, well, it was first my wife's cancer. That created a lot of mental scarring. And then going from, you know, basically 14 workouts a week, personal training, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, all that, to not being able to do any of that to the full extent that I used to. So that created a lot of mental scars, which really helped have that attachment factor to that person I was. So it was a mental hurdle. I've had physical hurdles that I've been tackling very well, but it's the mental hurdles that have been holding me back. And that's just it. You gotta take that mental look. You gotta take that objective look in the mirror and decide that, you know what, this is who I want to be. And that's it.